Lord. Good gravy.
Good gravy. I'll tell you, Crystal. The energies, the energies, the energies.
Mm.
My, how Mercury and Mars are wrapping up and everyone's going through it in some weird way.
I think it's crazy because, like, I just did a reading last week where actually, I had two good readings. I had two readings last week. I had two great readings last week, and both of them were like, bam. And I feel the energy from Mercury retrograde. Lord have mercy, save me now. Um, before and after. I don't necessarily feel it during. It's usually like, a tornado's coming and then we have to take shelter and everything gets crazy. And then there's this calm before the tornado actually hits, which is like this part of the retrograde. That's how things are. And I'm being affected in all of the energy. I feel like I'm like wanting to take a nap, a coma nap, not just a nap, a coma nap. But also at the same time, like everything in our house is going crazy. Nothing's working. I've had a heck of a time getting this on today. It's just everything's nutty. That Mercury, I'm telling you, it does some crazy stuff.
And everyone always gets so excited, like, yeah, cheers, Mercury's gone direct, Mars has gone direct. Like, people get so excited about that. And it's great, but we forget there is a post shadow and there's this integration period still. And a lot of times that's when these kind of hiccups happen, or opportunities or mirrors or lenses to look into whatever it is that we're sweeping up and clearing up at this time, because retrogrades are all about integration and ascension. So welcome. Oh, I see people signing on. Hello. Alicia, Sophia, Helen, Cece, Haunted Investigators. Hello. We're so happy you're here.
It's like I follow them. I do. I enjoy watching their stuff that they put out there. It's interesting. I enjoy looking at haunted stuff.
Chris's jam.
So super fun. Yeah, I don't know. What do we want to talk about today? I really have a clean slate. I'm in this space of like I've went away today. I'm not in the body, I don't think. So it's just kind of like I'm here, just jamming. What do you want to talk about?
We're just going to jam tonight. Tonight's going to be light and cool and fun. There's a few things too I want to bring up. So first off, next week we have a workshop, Spirit Speaks workshop. We would love and be honored for you to join us. We're not going to have a live show that night. Instead of going live from 7 to 9, we are going to meet those of you who want to in an online classroom. And we're going to talk all about and teach all about how Spirit speaks and how to interpret that and how to actually learn that. And you'll get one-on-one time with Crystal and I in a group setting, and it's going to be super wonderful. You can register at SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. It's $22 for the 2-hour workshop, and we would love to hold space with you.
And have questions. Like, have questions, because that's the only way my guides answer with like cool information is when you guys put me on the spot. So make sure that you do that, because I just love it when the guides are like, and this is the answer to this. And I'm sitting back going, I've never heard that shit before. It's so fun. I love it when they do that. So yeah, make sure you guys have your questions.
Yes, please. Aw. And Cece said she's excited. And Sophia said she's excited for the workshop. And I get to shadow twerk with Mandee, and now this workshop. Best month in 2023 yet. Yay! That's funny. Shadow twerk is cool. We started a 7-week series called Shadow Twerk, where we talk all about what shadow work actually is, how to foster that within yourself. We give you tools and resources and awareness around that. And we make it a little bit fun too, because just because shadow work can be heavy and intense doesn't mean it has to be, all terrible and all shit. Like, you can laugh, you can have fun. It's a lot of times you find a lot of your gold all up in there. So you can drop in the class. You can send us a message if you want to drop in, or you can sign up for the series still, and we'd love to have you. We also have, hey Monica, hey Glenda, so glad you guys are here. We also have a really cool event coming up on Saturday the 28th at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. we are going to do a cool event called Waves of Love for the Whales and the Waters. And this is an opportunity to honor and send love to the ocean and to the whales in particular, because there's been a lot of strandings recently here in New Jersey in particular, along the East Coast. There was an orca in Florida. There's a lot happening on the West Coast. There's certain things that people are blaming. There's division, there's opportunity, I think, for healing. And this is an opportunity to just get together and send some love back to the whales, do what they do best. They send us love and healing all day, and they sing their songs in the ocean and recalibrate the frequencies of the earth. And we have an opportunity to do that too. So we're going to join on the beach, and we're also going to live stream. Crystal and Lexi are going to hold down our open room, which is going to be awesome. And we're going to go through a bit of a ceremony. We're going to have prayer and drum circles, some education, meditation, music, all kinds of great things. And we're going to teach everyone how to do a group energy healing together. And it's going to feel really nice. And you can tune in person on the beach. You can tune in live with Crystal as she anchors it with Lexi, or you can tune in at your own time and send love in your own beautiful way, because it'll be recorded. So those are the three big things we have going on. Spirit Speaks workshop, Shadow Twerks class still coming up. And then next Saturday, we've got the Waves of Love healing event. So we're so excited you guys are here. Thank you for joining on. Can't wait. Emily, yes, thank you. It has been great and fun and very helpful. I'm glad that you're enjoying Shadow Twerk and you're participating. Thanks for being here.
I'm sorry, it just like went super quiet. I didn't know if we were done yet. I was like, I'm sitting there, and as you're talking about all the healing that we're going to be doing, I'm just imagining this great big forest of Care Bears sticking their little bellies out like, pew! You know, I've always been called Love a Lot Bear, so I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I want like one of those on my belly, so...
Well, that's what it's about. And you send it from your belly and your heart and your mind and your energy. And we're gonna teach you all about it. And it's gonna be just a really nice event. So we're looking forward.
Hello, Jennifer. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments now too.
Mine are
literally, I just went on autopilot. I cannot tell you how much. I'm like one of those ultra spiritual people right now that, like, you know, are off like doing weird stuff in their brain all the time and aren't like actually here. That's where I'm at. I don't know. I feel like I've been like taken over by aliens. I don't know where what's up today. So I do apologize to you guys. This is what happens when you just are weird about all sorts of things, and the energy around here is nutty. So it is crazy for me. It just makes me want to travel to water and tune in from there. Yes. I gotta tell you, being around water is, I don't know if I want to live by water, but I love the water. And I'm really excited because when my sister comes back to visit me, we have tickets to go see the whales. So I'm super excited about that.
It will be magical. I'm also feeling called this week. Oh, you got that from the Queen?
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Boom.
Do you want to read your disclaimer at this time?
I just did. Yes.
Beautiful.
Holy crap. It did a lot of them. I'm sorry for all the bouncing around here, guys. Once again.
Okay. I feel like you should read that out loud and like let everyone know that we're going to share this a little bit from now on. Crystal came up with a bit of a script for when we have trolls and energy vampires.
So you guys know, if you've been listening to anything that I've said, literally over the past year, I've had my identity stolen on every single platform so many times. I've had 2 TikToks that I had to get rid of. The first one had a huge amount of a following, and I had to get rid of both of those because somebody kept taking my whole entire profile and redoing it and contacting people and scamming them out of money claiming to be me. And it's very distasteful to me because I work under a spiritual understanding, and my personal perspective is that if you're channeling from anything of a higher vibration and not your own ego, then you're going to know that if somebody didn't ask to be talked to, then they're not the right person to talk to, because you have to be ready, mind, soul, and body, to receive the energy that spirit presents. If you're not, it's not going to work. You're not going to listen to it. It's not going to stick. So I feel as though people who try to get on these things, these live streams, are just gross, opportunistic people. And so I was like, I'm sick of people being taken advantage of. And so I've got a whole response. And it says, "Hey troll, thank you for tuning into this live stream," because we do really love you popping in. I would like to point out that real spiritualists and that speaks with actual spirit would never poach readings, healings, or services from people that did not energetically ask for it. Spirit thinks that's disgusting. Real higher vibe spirit requires people to talk to and be ready to receive from us. If they did not seek out your energy at work, it's ego. Keep your ego off from my page. Do your own work, create your own page, do your own live streams. So, sincerely, a woman that is sick to death of good people being taken advantage of from low vibe, so-called spiritual opportunists like you. And I know that's going to trigger some people, but at the same time, I don't really care anymore, because if you were who you said you were, then you would do live streams and you would let everybody see what you're doing. So you wouldn't be asking for people to message you, tell them how much you cost, and then give a reading. So just be good people. At the end of the day, just be good people. That's not a good people. And yes, I'm salty and I have the right to be.
Sometimes it's hard for people to be good people. That's part of where shadow work comes in. Like, we got to learn where we learned these habits, why we're doing this, what's happening, and take a look at it if you want to be integral with yourself. And the interesting thing about it is, when you're not, the only person who gets hurt is you. It's like your own relationships, your own body, your own manifesting your own energies. And we think we're getting ahead in some ways, but really we're not. And then it keeps coming up for the lesson. So always an opportunity to tune up with our own higher selves.
Which kind of goes into what we were talking about, I guess, originally, before they even commented. It was almost like that was Spirit's door to say, hey, see, yeah, you know, some things are a little bit on the ego side, and we have to learn how to balance out that thing that is our ego, because that really kind of sucks. And we don't always know. And sometimes we perceive things to be one way when really they're not, because we're kind of disconnected. And so I don't know. I think that we have to understand that not everybody wants or needs our advice. And I feel like our advice should only be given when asked for. And it should only come from a very higher understanding, because you guys don't want Crystal's advice when it comes to a lot of things. Not after looking at my life. So
I have an idea for tonight too, to do something a little different. So this past week, we hosted a beautiful class called Self-Love and Care 101 at Zen Landing Yoga and Wellness in Mays Landing, New Jersey. They're fantastic. We love their vibe. They're so sweet. We're going to be teaching like 5 workshops there over the next couple months. And one of the things that we did during that class, we're also going to be offering this class online, probably in about a month. So keep your eyes and ears out if you're interested in that. But one of the activities that we did was I encouraged everyone to pull a card from this old deck that I have called The Best Year of Your Life by Debbie Ford. And Debbie Ford founded the Debbie Ford Clinic, which has served many, many people. And this is really cool, because what it is it gives you something that you might be working on within your soul. And then it gives you some tools and techniques on how to do that with a self-love assignment. And I thought that that could be a really fun thing to do today that might be a little different. So if you want a card, I'm going to pull from this self-love deck, and it'll give us some things that we can all talk about together. And I have no doubt, like when we did, everybody pulled their own card, which was fun in circle, and it was spot on. It was like every other person was in tears. Person's laughing or taking a breath and being like, this is exactly what I need. And it's really cool how that happened. So I thought maybe that would give us a nice topic of conversation and go in a different way. Of course, I always have all my other cards, and I literally do readings all day here at home in my home office from Zoom. So if you ever want to hold space one-on-one, reach on out to SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. And for all of my live streams, I always offer a 50% off coupon. You just type in Mandee Live when you book a session with me, and it'll give you 50% off. So Crystal, if you're down for it, that's kind of what I'm feeling tonight. And
absolutely. And I'm also already writing down people's names that want cards. So
cool.
I've got it written down. I'm paying attention to all of you guys. And I think it's a great idea. There's a lot of new energy coming in. It's a Monday. Mondays are always wonderful because it's the first start of your next week. So what did you guys let go of last night? And what are you inviting in new this week? Even though the energy might be a little bit insane. You know, I think it's good. It's great. I am going to go back up here because Terry was also the first one that asked for a card.
All
And she
right.
said, Crystal, how can I start to either hear or see people around me? Mandee, may I have a card, please? So I'm just going to tell you that I know that Mandee's card is going to talk a little bit about what your blockage is in that, because it's feeling. So I think it's funny that you said hear or see. And a lot of people feel like that's going to be the first form of how we receive spirit, and it's just not. The first form of when I receive spirit, and I know many other people because I talk to all of you people, is actually feelings. It's your gut vibe. It's anxiety. It's kind of that, like, hair. It's like it's anxiety, but it's almost like, for me, this little hair that kind of stands up, and it's like I get my spidey senses going a little bit. But most of the time, essentially, before I knew how to connect with spirit, it came as anxiety. So I would be in the store, and the feeling would be instantaneously that I felt like I was going to get sick. I would get really bad headaches. But I would have that anxiety go, and I have to stand up for this because it only is going to make sense to you guys if I do this. This is our solar plexus. This is where all the energy comes in from spirit around us, people, everything. That's our feeler. That's our center. And so when we get anxiety, what happens is it comes through really fast, and then it comes up and it sits here on the heart chakra, and then it raises that anxiety. And that's when our heart starts to race, and we start to get all those things happening around us. And that's usually shut down. That's usually public enemy number one, for any person who is a feeler on any level. Because once that happens, we automatically, our brain says, halt, like, stop, not a good time. I'm standing here. We can't do this now. They know it's an all systems failure because our body's responding, and that's our brain's response to our body. But our spirit is like, let it sit with you for a second. What are you feeling? What are you experiencing? What is happening around you? It's part of opening up the senses that we already have outward. And that goes with feeling. Because generally speaking, from that part, what happens is it sits here, it goes to your throat. That's when that fight or flight response comes in. That's when we feel like we're going to vomit on the store floor or go poop ourselves. And then all of a sudden we find a way to push it out. We leave the store. We have that panic attack. We do whatever we do. I know that's what I used to do. Sometimes I'd have to run to the bathroom because I thought I'd be sick. That's what happens. And so it sits in our body, which is also horrible, and why we need shadow twerk, because that's exactly what that is. It's us over years taking this energy in and letting it sit there and sit there and sit there. It's gunk. And so I'm going to tell you that once she pulls these cards, I know Spirit's going to talk about you and your energy and your vibes and feeling and moving things, because they're really making me feel like that's kind of where you're getting stuffed up. Okay. So that's my answer to you there.
I love it. All right. So here we go. This cool old self-love deck for Terry. Terry got make powerful requests. They want you to give them permission to truly say, hey, you know what? I'm open to receiving all good. I'm here to share messages. Thank you for surrounding me in white and blue light and protecting me and helping me to have a clear conversation. So this says, make powerful requests. Our ability to manifest the things we desire is in direct proportion to how powerfully and clearly we can state our requests. Some of us were taught that it's impolite to make direct requests. So instead, we manipulate, drop subtle hints, dance around a subject, or expect those around us to read our minds. What time and effort could we save if we just learned to ask for what we want? A powerful request is one that is clear and specific and lets the listener know exactly what they want and what time and by what time you want it. It's not a demand, but an invitation to participate in your vision. Remember the words of Gandhi: if you don't ask, you don't get. And then it gives you a self-love assignment. And it says, acknowledge the areas in your life where you're able to make powerful requests. What situations or relationships are you able to clearly ask for what you need? With your clients, your coworkers, maybe your children's, your friends. Now notice places where you're unable to make requests and where you need to identify what's stopping you from making powerful requests. Is it embarrassment, fear, rejection, lack of confidence? Allow yourself to see what belief, thought, or fear you've given in order to clearly state your needs and desires. The end.
Sorry, I was still muted. I can't whistle. I'm 42 and I still can't whistle, but I was like, with my unwhistling self. So I'm going back up. We
That's
have,
a good one. Make powerful requests. And
I
that
think that's a great deck. That sounds amazing.
yeah, this thing.
Like for real.
I love this thing.
To me, that sounds amazing. It's very, very detailed for a deck. You don't usually see all that with tarot or spiritual cards. It's usually like a little blip. That was deep.
Well, she calls it the self-love game, and she made it like a private workbook and journal in order to like help her track her progress and stuff. And what she did was have her clients pull a card for each week, and then basically that's their shadow work they got to work on. And it's really cool because, and then like sometimes you get to take a break. So like when we all went around in the circle, everybody got all this really heavy shit, and mine was like, take a break, you deserve it. And I just like left my part-time job and then full-time sea goddess again, and I've been inspired by that and excited, and I haven't actually really taken a break. And that's my true shadow work of the magnetic light worker generator person I am, because I literally I'm like a kid. Like I pass out at like my 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and then I'm like, bing, like what can we do? And so it was important for me to take a breath and take a beat, and it was really funny. But then we had some other people who were like, admit you're wrong, and
ouch,
you're over consuming, and just different things, but they were like, yes, this is actually what I needed at this time. So it's pretty cool how it all works. And I love this, and thought it would be juicy and give us all an opportunity to go deeper right now. And that's the way you get to spirit, is by learning yourself more, introducing yourself to your ego and your shadows and your higher self, and learning how to dance and manage with them all. And this is how we access our magic. So I'm excited about this tonight. And like I said, we're going to be doing another workshop of Self-Love and Care 101 online within a month.
I'm also curious if it didn't go with, to any of you who have cards read tonight, it would be really, Emily is next, by the way, that I have her pulled up. But if it goes hand in hand with your last Mercury retrograde experiences, please say so. I'm curious. My own little scientific experience here, or experiment, not scientific really, but just my own wanting of knowledge, because generally speaking, retrograde is a time, it's like a backwards type of a situation. And so maybe what you're working on, or maybe what you're working towards, kind of gets flipped a little bit, and some craziness comes in with the energy of relationships, you and all that fun stuff. That's when the shadows really start to dance around in our lives. And so I'm curious if some of these cards don't go hand in hand with some of the actual experiences that you've been going through over the past couple weeks to a month. And the reason I say that is because this is the very last part of the retrograde, and maybe this is Spirit's way of saying, okay, we still got a couple days. Let's hurry up and work on this.
Heck yes. That's what happens. It's always an opportunity also, especially when it's uncomfortable. That's when we get to really practice what we preach and see what's going on. All right. For Emily. It's a big old deck, clearly, because that's a lot of words on it. For Emily. What message would you like Emily to hear tonight from Self-Love? Seize the day. The best year of our lives is made up of succession of best days. But most of us will forget today by the time tomorrow actually comes. For a day to have enough impact that we'll actually remember it in a year's time, we must consciously intend to make it memorable. We must have to travel outside our normal comfort zone and purposely create an emotional charge that's strong enough to remember. What activity could you plan for one day this week that would be so special that you'll remember it for the rest of your life? Your self-love assignment. Pick one day this week when your schedule allows for some unstructured time. Now ask yourself, if I were going to seize the day and live it with such passion that I'm sure to remember it in a year's time, what would I do? Here are some ideas to get your imagination rolling. You could fill your best friend's house with flowers. You could surprise someone you love with a home-cooked meal. You could find out about a household project that a friend or family member has been putting off and organize a work party to get it done. Think creatively and do something that will leave a lasting impression in the hearts of all who participate. seize the day. I like that one.
I love it too.
Emily.
We're moving right along to Miss Helen.
All right. And that's for everyone. If these cards speak to you, take some notes tonight. Take some notes because these
absolutely
to make our lives richer and fuller and feel a little more healed and whole and balanced.
It's called piggybacking because Spirit knows we're going to run out of time. So they're giving you all the things.
Mm-hmm. Helen, say no hard. Setting clear boundaries is an essential part of self-love. Saying no when we mean no is also an act of self-love that we respect ourselves and honor our own feelings and desires. Saying yes when we want to say no not only erodes our self-love, but it inevitably builds resentment inside of us toward the very people that we're trying to please. This week, reflect on your relationships with people at work, at home, in your community, and make a list of any place that you're saying yes where you'd really like to say no. As you reflect on your list, consider the long-term consequences of putting your needs and desires on the back burner. It will add to the intimacy and closeness in your relationships with this person, or will it build resentment? Your assignment this week is to respectfully and consciously deliver 3 no's, knowing that every time you say no to something you don't want, you say yes to increase self-respect and love.
We have another a person.
Nope.
We have another drawer. I'm just waiting. I'm going through all this stuff.
We're lighting the path. Thank you for being here.
Oh my Lord. What is happening with life right now? See, this is what I'm saying. I swear I'm not clicking on nothing.
And
it's insane.
Coming in all weird and choppy. I might sometimes jump on my phone so I can see them, but right now I'm just letting people say names and pulling cards.
Okay, so that was for Helen. So we've got Miss Glenda next. I got a system, and the Mercury retrograde is screwing with my system, which is screwing with my head. So please, thank you, love you all for being here. I've got my crap together as much as I can.
All is well. Glenda. Oh, we love Glenda. Forgive yourself, Mama. Glenda, you magical good witch. Forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is the key to living an extraordinary life. By making the courageous choice to forgive ourselves for our mistakes and our shortcomings, we liberate ourselves from the bonds of our past and open the door to a new future. When we forgive ourselves, we feel worthy and deserving of receiving everything that life has to offer. Your self-love assignment. This week, make a list of all the behaviors and incidents in which you want to be forgiven for. After writing down your list, say a prayer asking for the compassion to forgive yourself. Then put your list in a sealed envelope next to a 7-day candle, which you can get at most gift stores. Light this candle and let it burn an hour a day. As it burns, think about why you're worthy of your own forgiveness. That one's juicy.
I like that one too. That one's like a hug. I love that.
If you're just tuning in, we had a self-love care class, self-love and self-care 101 class this past week. And we used this amazing deck, Debbie Ford, Best Year of Your Life. And we decided to switch it up a little bit tonight and pull these for each of you, as many as we can, of course. And the cool thing is it's an opportunity to see what resonates with you and maybe do some of this week and let us know. And we can talk about it at our next live. And next week or next Monday, we have an amazing workshop as well. It's going to be at this time from 7 to 9. And you can sign up and get in a live webinar with Crystal and I. So we're so excited you're here, and we're doing things a little different tonight. And we're reading from this really cool Best Year of Your Life deck, which calls out some of our shadows. All right. Is Sophia next?
Yep, she is.
Yep. All right. Sophia. Self-love. Ooh, play. Remember recess and play dates? When you were a kid, as children, we recognized the value of letting everything go and simply enjoying ourselves. But too often, by the time we hit adulthood, our work-to-play ratio is completely out of balance. Playing is essential. Not only is it fun, but it also renews and refreshes us, helping us to better focus on the more serious aspects of our lives. Your assignment this week is to play. If you're one of those people who grudgingly participates in leisure activities and then spends the whole time thinking about what you should be doing, I invite you to engage your whole body, mind, and spirit in a playful activity that you choose. Self-love assignment. You are hereby ordered to schedule an activity that has no usefulness other than its enjoyment to you. Go bowling with friends, or perhaps get some art supplies and spend an afternoon expressing your creative side. Playing could also mean picking up a hobby that you gave up in honor to be productive. So you have opportunities here, and I'm really excited to see what you come up with to play.
Sorry, I was like, Red Rover, send Sophia right over.
Oh, we need to seriously, we're going to have summer camp retreat. We got a retreat coming up in Florida, which is going to be so fun. But then we're also going to have some really cool summer camp type activities where we get to do all that stuff. So that used to be so fun.
Tina is next on the cards, and I'm reading Terry's comment. It says there's a cost. Is there a cost to next week? It's $22, right?
Yep.
Okay.
$22, and you sign up on SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. You'll see that there's right on the main page, there's a link to it. But then also if you go under classes, you'll find it, or events. I think it's classes. But it's on there and you'll find it. SeaGoddessHealingArts.com.
And if you do come, like I said, bring questions.
Bring questions. All right. So for Tina from the Self-Love deck. You guys like this one. This is fun. Tina, this is a good one. For you and for many. And please receive it with such love and such opportunity. What's your story?
Oh, the big story.
This is so great, though. This is awesome. I'm so excited. Each of us has a story, a personal drama that's uniquely ours. Our story is the identity we've created and now believe ourselves to be. Our story defines our limitations, telling us what we can and cannot do, how much love, success, and happiness we're entitled to. The stories we tell ourselves about who we are either open us up to new possibilities for happiness and fulfillment, or they shut us down. Whenever we're struggling or not getting the results that we want, we can be certain that we're living inside a story that doesn't serve us. The good news is, you're not the only star of your drama. You're not only the star of your drama, you're the creator of it. If you don't like what's showing up on the screen of your life, you're the one with the personal power to change it. Self-love assignment. Choose an area in your life where you've been struggling, or where you're unhappy, or where you feel like you're not getting your needs met. Begin to distinguish the story that you tell yourself about this part of your life. What role are you playing within this story? Are you the victim, the villain, the damsel in distress? Next, ask yourself, what internal or external shift would I have to make in order to become the hero of this story? Commit to taking the actions that you see.
I had to give her lots of love. She's got a mom on the other side. Mother figure is how it came through. And it was like instantaneously when you started reading off that card, there was just like this energy that comes through. And what an amazing woman. But also, like, you're an amazing woman. And when, like I said, this is like, man, Mandee, holy tarnation. Sometimes we just seem to have like a tornado over our head. And it's really difficult. And they're happens. Like, yeah. And they're making me feel like she's had a tornado over her head. Like, on it, it's almost like I can't get away from it. Every time I feel like I've got out of the storm, like the storm is like right here. And I love the card because it talks about it. But I also think sometimes this is like the most beautiful conversation to have, because even though like life is happening around us, it's very difficult for us to see that we're in control of the chaos, and that we are self with maybe our own thoughts, our mindsets, who we are, what we do, what we decide, who we let into our lives. Like literally, it doesn't have to be a fault type situation. There are subconscious and conscious choices that are made inside of us every day. And sometimes we're making choices that we ourselves don't even know that we're putting ourselves back into the same situations. And it's just this clusterfuck. I won't say that very loud for the children in the back, but I there's this cluster of stuff that happens because of one stupid thing that we wished we would have changed in time, and then we look back upon it, and they're just making me feel like she's had these things keep on, and so it's probably very, very frustrating for her right now. But there is so much love around you. And good golly, Miss Molly lady, you have lost a lot of people, because it feels like you have so many people that you specifically have had to put over here. And that is such an unfair situation for you to have to deal with. And they are giving you so much love, because I feel like you're the glue that holds everybody together, and you're not necessarily happy making the choices that you have to make and you have to decide. But at the same time, I feel like you're doing it, and you're doing it in your time. And so please don't feel rushed to come to any one decision today. You're taking and you're thinking, you're doing the mindset. And sometimes that's all the momentum we need, because right now is not the time for you to have the clarity in the situation as a whole that you need. So going forward, know that this beautiful mom is here holding her hands with you, and she's taking breaths with you, and she's holding it in with you, and she's reminding you to cry because you've been holding everything in for so long. You need that release right now. So allow yourself to release. You don't have to be the person with the heavy shoulders all the time. You need somebody who's going to give you their shoulders now. And so even if that's just spirit, allow them to give that to you, because you deserve it after all the crazy that you've been through. And I just feel like it's been for so long. It's just not stopping. And I'm sorry that seems to be where you're at right now.
And we're just sending mad love. And it's always an opportunity, like we said, just to kind of get clear on what's been happening and why, and what kind of perspective it can give us. So thank you for pulling that card for all of us. And welcome Danielle and Jen and Lexi. We're pulling from the self-love and care deck tonight, doing things a little different and seeing what opportunities it has for everyone. And Danielle, I have some comments I'm seeing, not all of them, but I did see Danielle said she wants a card, which we'll do later because we're going in order. And she said it's like a not deserving mindset, because she feels like she shouldn't ask for one because she has nothing to give in return for our energy. And this is the reason we hold this space. This is a gift from Crystal and I each week to share what we do, to give you a little taste of what we do, and to hopefully give those of you in need of a message some sort of gift and message. And so this is an opportunity to receive. And like I said, we're going to get to as many as we can tonight. There is a long list, but just know you are welcome to be here, and never, ever be afraid to ask for a card. Okay. Lindsay, I think I could definitely use a card if you have time. Hi, Lindsay.
I love Lindsay.
Nice. The self-love and care deck that we're working with.
For her and her brood of dogs.
Love your imperfections. Oof, I think everyone's like, called out. Okay, love your imperfections. I'm sure you've noticed by now that humans are imperfect. We make mistakes. We're works in progress. And while most of us strive endlessly to make ourselves perfect, I've yet to meet a human being without flaws. To the degree that we're able to love and accept ourselves in spite of our imperfections, we'll be able to extend this love and acceptance to others. And the more we love ourselves and others, the more easily we'll manifest the things that we desire in life. Self-acceptance is the most generous gift that we can offer ourselves. Your self-love assignment this week: make a list of all the things you've disliked, resisted, or judged the most about yourself. As you read over your list, pause for each item and say to yourself, I'm worthy of my own love and acceptance, even though I blank. For example, I'm worthy of my own love and acceptance, even though I'm 25 pounds overweight. I'm worthy of my own love and acceptance, even though I don't have a job. I'm worthy of my own love and acceptance, even if I feel lonely. Read your list each day, pausing after each statement to breathe in your words, then move to the next item on your list. And also just remember, you can always rewatch this video later, if anybody, so that you can take some notes on all these cool things that are being offered tonight. I love this because I'm all about pairing actions and intentions. And the way we create true change is by doing that. We got to get our mindset there, and then we got to start doing it a little bit. And these are all amazing activities to practice some of this stuff. So I'm liking this. Cool. Stacy would love a card for Stacy from the self-love deck. Please yourself. People pleasing is one of the greatest epidemics of our time. No
Ain't
joke.
that the truth?
Woo! I know so many people who can't seem to find the time or energy to nurture their own dreams or bring their own goals to fruition. Could it be that people pleasing is the silent culprit behind their exhaustion and overcommitted schedules? Many of us learn early on that pleasing others is a good way to receive validation or affection. And now it's become a habit that we perpetuate, even though it doesn't serve our visions. This week, take your focus off pleasing others and instead look for ways that you could please yourself. Self-love assignment. Reflect on one area in your life where you feel resentful, powerless, or resigned. Allow yourself to see how many of your actions in this part of your life are driven by your need to please others. What length do you go to in an attempt to get others to like you? Do you pretend to be the nice guy or the nice girl? Do you conceal some of your brilliance or hide some of your power so that you won't intimidate others? Next, ask yourself if your quest to be liked or to please others is actually paying off. Is it bringing you what you want? Allow yourself to see what would be available to you if your first commitment was to please yourself. How would that affect your sense of worthiness, joy, and love? Finally, identify 3 actions that you could take this week that would be pleasing to you, and take them.
I love that card. And I feel like all of us can probably relate to that on some level. I mean, I think we all can. And it's very funny because like when I first started this out, like I'm a toddler sometimes with spirit. And I was like, okay, wait a second. If this isn't about me, it's about everybody else, then why do I have to make it about me? What does that even mean, you people in my head? I didn't understand. So
we're taught to, but it's okay because when we become aware of it, we can heal it and change it and pave the path for those that come after us. And we're all doing it together.
You know, when you talk about it a little bit more and you get a little bit more knowing and you're in the spirit realm a little bit more, you understand what that means. But it does take a lot of work to get to a place of fully being in balance within yourself and understanding some of these what seem to be very odd, hypocritical messages from spirit sometimes, like, you can't have both. I can't have expectations, but I also can't have a spouse that cheats. So I can't tell him, no, I don't expect you to cheat on me. Because I'm not allowed to have expectations. But, you know, it's so funny because we make a lot of mess in our own head, but we fail to love ourselves through those messes. And that was just a beautiful card. I feel like all of us can kind of feel that in some way. Cece is next.
That's what I'm saying. Even if you don't get a card tonight, please take one of these messages with you because this is where
it's 4:44.
4:44 California time. 7
What's 777?
So, you know,
7:44. Good God. Put me to bed now.
Hang in there, soul trooper. This is though where the real magic and alchemy lies. And when we can start to shift a perspective or look at something in a different way, especially about ourselves than we never have before, true freedom can happen. So we just encourage you to go a little deeper where it stings, step out of your comfort zone and see what happens. So for Cece, self-love deck for Cece. The power of choice. So this is all leading together so nicely, all of these lessons. The power of choice. Most of us have lost sight of the relationship between our choices, our actions, and the outcomes that we experience. But our lives are as they exist right now as the result of every choice that we've made to this point. The choices we make today, tomorrow, and every day this year will either keep us stuck, repeating the same patterns of our past, or they'll move us powerfully towards the best year of our lives. By becoming responsible for the choices that we make, we take our destiny into our own hands. Your self-love assignment. Reflect on an area in your life where you'd like to create a different result. Write down exactly what you'd like to change in this area. Now make a list of all the choices that you've made in the past 12 months that were in the direct opposition of the fulfillment of this desire. Allow yourself to see the choices you made that disempowered you, that you came from a place of fear, and that you were unconscious or self-sabotaging. Finally, identify 2 choices you can make this week that will move you closer to the result that you desire.
Beautiful. That's a good one.
Inga?
Inga is next.
For Inga. The self-love deck. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like this idea and this worked out.
Oh, they're beautiful cards.
They're so cool. And there's just something for all of us to learn. For Inga. Question your beliefs. The conclusions we form as a result of our life experiences become the beliefs that we hold about ourselves, others, and the world. If we were the last person picked on the kickball team, if our high school crush didn't return our affections, if we flunked out of math, if we didn't have the fashion sense expressed by some of our peers, it's likely that we picked up on some limiting beliefs about ourselves that aren't serving us, even to this day. Here are some of the common examples of limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I don't matter. There's something wrong with me. I'm unwanted. I don't belong. I'm unimportant. No one cares about me. These hidden beliefs shape our thought processes and drive our personalities, telling us what we are and are not capable of. To move beyond them, we must first expose them and then question their validity. This is your assignment this week. Self-love assignment. Look back on the negative incidents that occurred during your childhood. Did your parents get divorced? Did you move and feel unwelcomed in your new environment? Were you rejected by someone who you wanted to have as a friend? Once you've made a list of 10 upsetting events from your childhood, ask, I know, go deep. Maybe start with 3. Go deep and go 10. Inga, she's a warrior.
She's strong.
She got this. Once you make a list, ask yourself the following questions about each one and begin to expose some of your core beliefs. Number 1, what belief did I form as a result of this experience? Number 2, how long have I been held by this belief? Number 3, does this belief serve me anymore? And number 4, what belief could I replace it with that would reflect much better who I am today? So I love that.
I'd need to journal a couple different times because my saucy brain likes to come up with pretty snide comments when talking to spirit. It's like, what? I don't know. You tell me what the my first other thought would be probably just not as nice, but maybe there's a second or a third waiting in the background for me. I don't know.
We have a Julio.
I love Inga, by the way. Inga, I love you. We do know her story. So it's one of those things when she gets that, it's like, man almighty, whew, that's a deep card. I don't know anybody who wants to write down 10 experiences and ask themselves a little bit deeper what the thing is. I don't know. It's just a lot.
I already thought of like 6 as I was reading it. I was like, like it comes in quick too.
It does.
Show you. I was like, oh yeah, yep. Mm-hmm, yep. Not too deep for Inga. Also, you got the trolley home.
Yep.
Trollholio, I was calling it. Okay, cool.
And who is next? Monica is next. I have her pulled up.
Monica, the self-love deck for Monica this week. Let's see what message is for you and passes along to everyone else because these are certainly for all of us. For Monica. Woo! Throat chakra clearing, Monica. Go back to the basics.
Oh.
It says, I trained in martial arts for 3 years. And one thing that I was continually struck by is how much time we spent in each class focusing on the basics. Without mastering the basics, my instructor would say, you can never move on to a more advanced technique. How can you create the best year of your life? Pay attention to the basics. Have compassion for yourself. Take time to go within. Set measurable goals. Do what you say you're going to do and appreciate what you have. Take this week to focus on the basics. Strive to make each of these practices a regular part of your lifestyle, and the best year of your life will unfold naturally. Self-love assignment. It's time for a refresher course on the skills you've learned so far during this course. Look back over the past few weeks and note the following. Are you compassionate with yourself, even when you make mistakes? Have you broken agreements with yourself or others that you need to clean up? Have you set goals or committed to action steps that you haven't fulfilled yet? Are you nourishing your physical body with proper food, rest, and exercise? Are you taking time each day to go within? Make a list of the basics that you've been neglecting, and then create a plan of action to reintroduce them back into your daily schedule.
I love that for her too. I know
That's
Monica as
funny.
well, so I love that for her.
All right, Nikki?
Yep.
All right, our next one. Oh, Monica says thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for reminding all of us to go back to the basics.
It's like I'm so like I said, some of these people are like actually like they're friends of mine, not necessarily people that tune in every single Monday, but I'm grateful that they're here, and Nikki's one of them. Like I can't wait to see what Spirit says to her, because she's done been putting in the work too.
Well, let's see what your self-love assignment is then for Nikki. Integrity.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Integrity. And it's one of my favorite words. I'm such a dork. But I was like,
before you say anything, like, I know this is a self-work thing, but it's like she has so much integrity. It's so funny. I feel like she has a human responsibility issue like I do. Like, take responsibility for your actions and just grow up. I feel like that's a thing. So I'm so curious as to what this card is going to be.
Right? Integrity is a beautiful word. It's an opportunity. And I was going to say, yeah, I was on this committee in my high school, and we got to write our mission statement for the high school, which is still there. I was like a freshman, and I put in the word integrity, and I love it. It's always like stuck with me ever since. So I'm excited to see what magic this is too. Integrity. Integrity is the foundation of a successful life. When our behaviors, actions, and choices are consistent with our deepest values, we gain the courage to be ourselves and the confidence to ask for what we need. To the extent that we haven't cleaned up the unfinished business from our past, we will unconsciously punish ourselves by withholding love, success, and abundance we desire. Resolving our integrity issues makes us feel worthy enough to manifest our dreams. Your self-love assignment. This week, take some time to look back over the past 2 years of your life. Make a list of the relationships or situations where you haven't acted with complete integrity. On a piece of paper, write the person's name with a brief description of what you did or didn't do that left you feeling bad about yourself. Now close your eyes and take a couple slow, deep breaths. Ask yourself, what could I do to bring this situation back into balance and restore my own sense of integrity? Could you write a letter, deliver an apology, or contribute in some way to someone in need? This action could involve a person directly, or it doesn't have to. Design a plan of action to restore your integrity. And Spirit is also showing too for you, Nikki. Not only can you do this for yourself, but this is an opportunity for you to help others to be a little more integral and to give you some tools in your back pocket when guiding others as well. So just know that this is beautiful, and they're showing integrity is one of your games. So you got to get a little bit more deeper with it.
Also, I would look, because I actually did that. Like, while you're talking, I'm actually looking up the definition because I wanted to see what the actual definition, because sometimes we as humans hear words and then all of a sudden we're like, holy hell. And if you need to be triggered, you need to be triggered. Like, what does that mean? I'm truthful. I'm honest. I'm probably, I would be like, what in the hell? That's what I would do. But I had to look it up because I wanted to make sure that I understand the meaning of the word the correct way, because once again, trying to take in all these cards too. It's the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. But it also says the condition of being unified, unimpaired, or sound construction, internal consistency, or lack of corruption. And I think that that's really interesting because that I think that also, like, looking at all the aspects of the word as a whole, I think is neat because I myself waver. And that is a lack, I guess, of integrity, because if I'm doing it with the same person, like my son growing up, and I'm like, no, you can't do this, but then I sway and I'm like, yeah, you can. He's never going to understand what boundary is okay and what boundary is not, because he's going to be tap dancing around me. And so I was like, oh, okay, I understand that a little bit differently. Integrity doesn't necessarily mean what I perceived it to mean when you first used the word. And that's why I had to look deeper. So
I love it. And I'm really glad we got to discuss that tonight.
and we are on to Kara now.
Kara from the self-love deck for Kara. What does she need to know most tonight? Oh, you got one I got earlier this week. Take the week off. Congratulations. You just selected one of the two cards in this deck that entitle you to a week off. No, your assignment this week is to simply acknowledge all the great work you've done so far and let yourself have some luxury in your free time. Have fun. Self-love assignment. Bask in what you've accomplished. This is a week to bask in the glory of what you've already accomplished. If you encounter any resistance by giving yourself time off, breathe in and remind yourself that you deserve it. See yourself next week.
Next, and I picked a different one because I thought the other one, get out of here with that, we do cards, just like Mandee said. So
awesome. All right, Danielle, we made it. All right, Danielle is up. For Danielle this week, I believe she had a birthday recently too. Have some fun. Look at that. Have some fun. Believe it or not, most adults need to be reminded to take some time out for fun. Trained as we are to get things done, we often devalue or neglect this most important aspect of life. By doing things for just the sake of our own enjoyment, it recharges and rejuvenates us. Having fun is actually a necessary activity that feeds and nourishes us on the deepest level. Have some fun this week and enjoy the benefits it produces in virtually every other aspect of your life. Self-love assignment. This is Fun Week. Your assignment is to make a list of 10 activities that you do on a regular basis that you would do on a regular basis if your life were dedicated to having fun. Then schedule at least one of those activities into your week and enjoy yourself. I hope that helps and supports Danielle. Oh, and Kara said, I see Kara said, wow, last week was huge. And today I was able to take a nap during the day and I never day sleep. Let yourself inner winter right now too, for anyone. There's been some really heavy energies going on. We're in the middle of winter in the north, and it's a time to just kind of let ourselves turn off and power off and die off a little bit and rest and nestle, and you deserve it. And you really, truly, your angels are like, yep, you know all the things you accomplished and you deserve to rest a little.
I had to take a nap before we got on today, because I was like, my body is not with it. I don't know where I'm at. We've already said that, but yes, it was super fun. I'm sorry, found another one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Wesley.
Yes.
Wesley, Christina. Okay. Angela, for you. What does Angela need to know most today? From the self-love deck. Oof, here we go. We had a couple really light ones. Now we're going to go deep again. Intercepting self-sabotage. When we're not producing the results that we say we want, we can be sure that we're sabotaging ourselves somewhere. Self-sabotage is an indication that we're punishing ourselves for something and not treating ourselves as the worthy, special, and important people that we are. If you find yourself making choices that either consciously or unconsciously derail you from attaining your desired goals, if you know of things that you should be doing and time again you don't do them, if you say you're committed to one outcome and your actions reflect that you're committed to another, the remedy is simple. Self-love is the antidote to self-sabotage. Your self-love assignment this week: examine each area of your life and identify your sabotaging behaviors. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what am I punishing myself for? And then identify the action that you can take this week that will support you in forgiving yourself for that. In addition, take a moment to answer these questions before you make the choice that could lead you in the wrong direction. Would someone who loves themselves make this choice? Is this an action? Is this action an expression of someone who feels worthy of having everything they desire? Is this an act of self-love or an act of self-sabotage? So, all of us got that one.
I know, right?
One of us.
So I have Janet here. I thought this was funny. She did pop on right afterwards, and it was I was responding to a couple people. She was like, "I'm not a troll, I promise." So if we have time for one more person, I would absolutely love if you could do it. We're not doing any more readings tonight, guys. It's after time, but we thank you all.
Andrea just popped on. Andrea, if you want one, I will do it for Andrea.
Awesome.
And then we're done. But we're reading from the Self-Love and Self Best Year of Your Life by Debbie Ford deck. So it's a little bit different. And it's an opportunity for all of us to learn how to do a little shadow work. And we're pulling one for whoever wants one. So Janet, thank you for being here. Thank you for not trolling and speaking your truth. And for you this week, bless your body. Another juicy one. It's so easy to take our physical self for granted without even realizing it. We sometimes act as though we're immortal, ignoring our needs and driving ourselves too hard. It's easy to forget that our bodies are a delicate gift and a temporary home for our souls. But if each of us really stopped to appreciate how precious our bodies are, we would nurture and bless them as a newborn child. We would live in awe of the miracle of our existence. Begin each day this week with awareness that your body needs and deserves special care, nourishment, and appreciation. Self-love assignment. Each day this week, either in the morning or evening, spend 5 minutes sending love to each and every part of your body, from your head to your toes. As you consider your many wonderful and valuable body parts, just imagine what life would be like without that part of your body. Allow your hands to rest on each area of your body and send it some love and thanks. Spend extra time on any areas where you've hated or judged. Take this on as a daily ritual and notice how you feel by the end of the week. That's a beautiful one for all of us. So thank you for asking for a card and letting us share that one. And last but certainly not least, Andrea. And thank you all for tuning in, for hanging in there. I'm Mandee Elam. I'm an intuitive ascension guide, and I do all kinds of readings and empowerment coaching, and I help with traumas and dramas and finding purpose and magical skills. And if you would like to hold space with me, just visit SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. And all of my services, if you type in the code Mandee Live, are 50% off. And I'm going to pull a card for Andrea for tonight. And then Crystal and I are going to tell you a little bit more about what we got going up and how you can find us. So for Andrea, here we go. Andrea, what does she need to know most? The love you need. This feels like a nice place for tonight to end on. The love you need. We all yearn for different expressions of love at different times in our lives. Sometimes we need acceptance and gentleness. At other times, we crave passion and adventure. And although we often look to others to give us the love that we need, the highest act of self-love is to learn how to give it to ourselves. When we take time to listen to the desires of our hearts, We nurture ourselves from the inside out. By giving ourselves the love that we need, we no longer look to others to complete us. Self-love assignment. For the next 5 days, take some time each morning to connect with yourself. Close your eyes and take a few breaths into the areas around your heart. As you breathe in, notice any feelings or emotions that are present. Then ask yourself, what is the love I need right now? Is it acceptance, gentleness, acknowledgement, respect, rest, appreciation? As you hear the kind of your love that your heart is longing for, take 5 more minutes to shower yourself in that type of love. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, tonight. I hope that helps you, Andrea. And I'm so grateful for everybody who stuck to the end, and we love you. And you can find us on SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. We have a live workshop next week in place of this live Spirit Speaks. We're going to be doing an online workshop where you can come and interact with us. You can register on SeaGoddessHealingArts.com. It's 2 hours for $22, and you get some one-on-one time with Crystal and I in a group setting. And then we have a whale meditation coming up. If you're in New Jersey, you can do it in person or you can do it online. That's going to be on the 28th. Crystal, anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really. No, you all can find me at Mid-Mitten Medium and also on YouTube at Spirit Speaks with Mid-Mitten Medium. Actually, it's Spirit Speaks LLC now. I changed my name. So, yeah, I hope you guys see, once again, not here. And after this, I think I'm doing another live on YouTube to answer a question for somebody. So let's just hope my brain meets my body at some point in time and I can do this with words, human words, not just audible weird noises. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night.
Thank you all seriously for liking this, for letting yourselves go deep, for maybe even really try to do some of this shit this week. See how it feels. Let us know. This is an opportunity.
So it's funny because Mandee, we talked last week about Spirit and how they told me I needed to journal for a month, every day for a month. And I have met them every single day. I call it my daily business meeting with Spirit. That's what I do. I'm like, so I'm just checking in. We're having the call, the meeting. So I hope y'all are here. You told me to show up. I'm here. I hope you guys are. Let's chat this out. And it has actually been such a refreshing, beautiful experience to sit with them and just talk, just to have that conversation with myself, because I learn the best when I speak. And so if I'm journaling to my team, they are listening and giving me the answers back in real time. Like, hey, this is what you need to do to change that. And then I hear that and I feel that. And I'm like, holy crap, thank you guys. You're showing up. And it's helping me get a clear picture for the first time in a long time, what it is that I'm really looking at. And so I'm super grateful. And I cannot tell you guys how much writing things down, journaling, actually taking a moment out of your time. It's not just with you. Call in your people. Have them be on the council of change. I don't feel like I'm the CEO. I feel like I'm this in-between person, but that's neither here nor there. Look at how you want. But meet them at least once a week and see if that doesn't start to change your thing. But make sure that you show up, because if you don't show up, they're not going to show up. They'll always be there, but they're going to be looking down at you going, yeah, see, if you would have taken 2 minutes with me, this wouldn't be an issue right now. And then that's when we have to put our tail between our legs and be like, crap, should have listened. So
you always have 5 minutes for yourself.
Yeah. So take that moment and just, if nothing more, reflect on what they said. And I guarantee, I love how Spirit tells me that, never discount like what you do when you plant a seed, because the words may not hit now, but they will hit at some point, and they do take root. So that thought process that comes after hearing the message, that's actually how that takes root and starts to grow in your life. So use those little root systems as new little buds and start growing off from that. Love you all so much. Hope you have a great week. Thank you, Mandee. Beautiful show.
Love you guys. Love you.
Holding it down. Bye.
Later, Gators.